What do you get when you take your average magical girl show, add tons of potential, and just a sprinkle of disappointment? The answer is Yuuki Yuuna Yuusha de Aru, otherwise known by the English name Yuuki Yuuna is a Hero. Was this anime one of, if not the greatest show of 2014, or was it something far less than that? Well, I'm here to answer that question and many more in my review of Yuuki Yuuna Yuusha de Aru. They say no good deed goes unpunished, thus saving the world comes as a severe cost. The story of Yuuki Yuuna tells the tale of a group of girls fighting to save the world from certain invaders, only to find out how true those words are. Yuuki Yuuna is about a group of girls who form a club in high school called the Hero Club, formed to help those in need. Keep in mind as you watch this show that it is in the slice of life genre, so the beginning of this show is just an insight into the Hero Club, what it is they do, and why it was formed as they engage in things like children's plays and finding homes for kittens. This takes a turn from slice of life to action as soon as the girls of the Hero Club receive a message on their phones and are transported to another world. The members of the Hero Club have been selected to become heroes and fight Vertex, the enemy of mankind, in order to protect the Shinzu-sama, otherwise known as the Divine Tree, which is the foundation of the world. With the help of an app I can't seem to find in the App Store, members of the Hero Club are transformed into magical girls to fight the newfound adversary that opposes them in order to save the world. To be honest, the show really does not go out of its way to set up anything new by way of the Mahou Shoujo genre, but this show focuses on the characters, posing questions about what it means to be a hero and the price these girls pay to help save the world. The hardships these girls face sets up some really engaging and tear-jerking moments, and some of them really stand out. As I mentioned before, the show is also in the slice of life genre and uses these moments to portray the ideals and morals these girls try to protect as they face the trials and consequences of being chosen to save the world and protect what they hold dear. It never really felt like these scenes were out of place in the show because of this, and they are also used to project each character's respective story and exploring their past. The action scenes in the show are presented quite well, mainly because this anime does a great job of building up to them, and each battle has a significant impact on their objective to save the world, keeping you engaged in the fights. This show, however, did have its fair share of flaws, mainly being the first half of the show, and the pacing wasn't exactly the best, but definitely picked up in the second half. The most controversial part of the show, and the thing that single-handedly killed my personal enjoyment, was the ending. I personally hated the conclusion of the show. Now my opinions are pretty subjective on this, seeing as I personally don't like this type of ending. I cannot go into much detail, of course, to avoid spoilers, but the reason why I didn't like this ending was I felt like it undid everything the show stood for, and everything it set up throughout its 12 episodes. All the hardships, trials, tribulations, and consequences all undone at the drop of a hat. The only saving grace of the ending was the fact that the way the show set it up, there really was no way for the show to end in a better way. Does the fact that this show couldn't have ended in a better way excuse it? No, not in my book, but some of you may enjoy the ending and see it as the best possible solution. I, however, don't see it as such. The story of Yuuki Yuuna does nothing to stray from his Mahou Shoujo roots with this concept. The show really focuses on the characters as it goes deep into the mindset of the magical girls as they face the hardships of what it means to be a hero, and in that sense makes something really enjoyable, and in turn creates some very meaningful moments that really stand out. This show does suffer from poor pacing in the first half, manages to pick itself back up in the second. This anime also does a great job of blending the action and slice of life genres together in a way that doesn't come off too strong in one direction or the other. The most controversial part being the ending killed my personal enjoyment by making everything they worked for and experience become meaningless, but I blame the writers for not setting it up in a better way, not allowing for any other possibilities in terms of a conclusion. The characters of Yuuki Yuuna develop very well because of the way the story is set up, focusing heavily on the characters, delving deep into their backstories, and even though this is a slice of life anime, these girls are more than just cute, each with their own individual traits and personalities. They have more than it initially appears, and their pasts are revealed and explored. We get to know more about them, sympathize with them, maybe even relate to them. It never ends up going over with how sad or unfortunate these girls are, however. It's life. We've all experienced sudden changes at one point or another. For some reason, that hasn't stopped us from living. Yuuki Yuuna, while not the leader of the Hero Club, is certainly the main character of the series. If the title wasn't enough, surely the fact that she has pink hair is a dead giveaway. Yuuki is the character that will push the show forward when it comes to a whole. She was not a bad character, nor was she a bad main protagonist, but I felt as though she did not have much development compared to the rest of the cast. Mimori Toko has been Yuki's best friend since moving into town and joins the Hero Club because of her. At first, when she's chosen to become a hero, she cannot find the will to fight, but later on realizes what it is she must fight for. After the first fight, I thought she was going to be someone like Madoka from Madoka Magica, someone who spends the whole show trying to find a reason to fight rather than joining in at the get-go, like Yuki and the others, thus becoming a serious handicap to the Hero Club. Get it? Handicap? I'm a terrible person, I apologize. Mimori was a character who, through her backstory and development, really showcases what this anime aims to present. As her morals and ideas break down piece by piece as the show progresses, she also begins to break down, showcasing the darker themes of the show. Fui Inubazaki is the president of the Hero Club, and leader of all the girls in the group as they fight the Vertex. Her role as leader is tested many times throughout the show as members are put through many hardships in an effort to save the world. Fu always works hard to preserve the well-being of her friends. Itsuki Inubazaki is Fu's younger sister and the youngest of the group. As the youngest, she is is the most vulnerable to the negative connotations of being a hero. She's been protected by her sister her whole life, and her goal throughout the show is to walk alongside her rather than behind her. Itsuki's development is truly a highlight of the show and really created one of the best moments in the show that perfectly showcased the buildup of emotions and psychological stress, only to come crashing down under the weight of it all. But let's not forget the ending made that entire moment seem like just water under the bridge. The last character is Karin Miyoshi. She joins the hero club to assist him in saving the world. We don't really see much of her backstory, and she's decently developed. She just seems somewhat subpar. She didn't really serve all that great of a purpose throughout the show, and the negative connotations of being a hero don't affect her nearly as hard, making her a bad character by comparison, and one that I not particularly care for. I will give her this, she had one epic moment towards the end that made up for this just a tad bit, but she was just a really weak character overall. The characters of Yuuki Yuuna are developed upon highly, mainly resulting from the way this show is set up, focusing heavily on the implications of being a hero and what the hero club has to face in order to fight and save the world. For the most part, the characters develop well as their pasts are revealed and explored, but some just felt subpar, and the ending made the changes and development some of the characters went through mean nothing. I can honestly say the art and animation of Yuuki Yuuna was something I was really pleased with. This show did a fantastic job with the colors in the alternate realm where the battles would take place, creating a fantastic color palette that I really did enjoy. The vertex also all had original designs, making them all feel original. The CGI used for those vertexes, however, did not blend well with the show, and it sometimes felt really choppy, but the action scenes themselves seemed to flow very smoothly, creating very intense and engaging action scenes. But for the moments outside of this colorful realm, they were just average. The slice of life scenes really didn't have any times that made them stand out, and in my opinion during these scenes, the art seemed original and uninspired. Character designs were good for the most part and fit each character well. There are characters like Mimori and Itsuki whose designs fit well and capture the essence of their character, and then there are designs I didn't care for at all, that being Fu, whose design really threw me off and I disliked from the moment I saw it. Really, girl? That yellow outfit and that hair with that eye patch? In the end, this show did a really nice job with its environment surrounding the fight scenes and the fight scenes themselves with a vibrant color palette, but the use of unneeded CGI and average art and animation during the slice of life portions were what the show did not do well. Finally, the character designs were great except for Fu and really captured the characters they represent. The OST for the show had a couple of great tracks, but was honestly nothing to write home about. The soundtrack, while it did its job great, did nothing to really stand out. The opening, however, did encapsulate the show and did a great job of not causing me to lose the feeling the previous episode left me off on. It really worked well to set you up for either situation, whether it be a dramatic or intense scene or a lighthearted slice of life moment. I actually really enjoyed the OP to Yuuki Yuuna. The voice actors are great and there are no complaints in that regard as well. The sound for Yuuki Yuuna did its job with only a few tracks stood out. The OP was great and there really are no complaints to be found with the voice actors. The reason why I watched Yuuki Yuuna was because I heard so many mixed things about it. Some said it was the best show of 2014, others said it was subpar. As for my opinion, I really did enjoy this show. For 11 episodes. The story focused heavily on the characters and did a great job going into the psychological, asking questions about what it means to be a hero. It does a great job of this, but its greatest flaw is the conclusion. The ending to this show made everything seem meaningless and tore down everything the show built up over its 11 episodes in one fell swoop. Although I felt the show set it up to a point where there was no better conclusion. This is purely subjective, however, and some of you might like the ending. The characters are heavily focused upon, developing very well, and each had their own individual traits and personalities. The animation during the fights was smooth and engaging, and the color palette used in the alternate realm was diverse and stunning, but in the real world was just average, and the use of CGI for the vertex does not blend well. The sound fits and has a number of standout tracks, and is all rounded off with a fantastic opening that set a great feel for the show. Would I recommend this show? Yes, but only under a few extenuating circumstances. The first being that you are a fan of the Mahou Shoujo genre, seeing how this show does not stray far from its roots at all. The second being that you have seen Madoka Magica. But let's be real, if you haven't seen Madoka Magica, I don't know how you found this video because everyone has seen that show by now. Third being that you were prepared for 11 episodes of great build-up followed by a 12th of disappointment. I'm not saying you will hate the ending by any means, because let's face it, I'm not you and I don't know how you think. I'm just saying to prepare yourself for the smallest possibility so I can say I told you so. You've been warned. As for ultimate recommendations, I point you towards the aforementioned Madoka Magica. I'm sure you've seen this show, but I definitely feel it is much better in terms of magic girl anime than Yuuki Yuuna. It relies a ton on shock factor, but it is a definite must-watch if you haven't seen it by now. The next is Fate Collide. This magic girl anime takes place in the Fate universe starring Ilya as the lead role. I personally love this show, but I would definitely recommend proceeding with caution, considering this show is not something you would normally expect from the Fate universe. And be sure to check out Mr. Reckless Penguin's review for an alternate opinion on the show. The link to that will be down in the description as well. So that wraps it up for my Yuuki Yuuna guy. So that wraps it up for my review on Yuuki Yuuna is a Hero. Tell me what you guys thought of the show in the comments below. And yeah, I hope you guys don't mind me redoing a review I've already done. I mean, I'm sure most of you haven't seen this by now because I made this review when I had like 100 some subs. So again, hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like if you did. Tell me what you thought of the show in the comment section down below. And I'll see you guys next time.